Welcome to another episode of I Wonder, Doctor.
I want to talk about the possibility that some of your weight gain can be related to a lower functioning thyroid gland.
So people can gain weight because their thyroid is misfunctioning.
Yes, they can, because thyroid hormone is the principal animator of metabolism, the rate at which you burn calories. And when someone gets a little low in thyroid, they might not be burning as much and they might be storing more. And here's something we know for sure. People who are hypothyroid, they gain weight. They can even get obese from it. And a mild amount or even a moderate amount of hypothyroidism is rampant because the biological stress response calls upon the glands to do some extra work, ultimately including the thyroid. And if you keep asking that gland to overwork, well, it can get a little tired. As is true for so many people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, they don't have gross hypothyroidism, but with special testing, we can detect that they are a little low in thyroid hormone. If they're gaining weight, they should be treated with thyroid hormone.
So this sounds like something someone needs to go to a doctor for. How would they know what kind of doctor to go to?
Yes, they do need to go to a doctor, and I think anyone who's overweight significant should go to a doctor. Yes, the main causes may be the simple carbohydrates in excess and a few other issues that everyone can take on themselves.
Yeah.
But there's always this chance of some special medical issue that could be taking place, such as hypothyroidism. So I say go to a doctor if you're overweight.
So would they go to their general practitioner for this, or who would they go to?
Well, they need to go to a physician who has special interest in thyroid issues and has gone to receive some extra education in it because things have changed.
Yeah.
For example, the testing has changed. Nowadays, it's imperative to get a free T3, free T4, and a TSH, and maybe even a reverse T3. And there's technical issues around the treating of thyroid because some people are deficient in one of the two thyroid hormones that is not common, the T3 part. So people have to understand this.
Got it. So some doctors are going to pick these things up, and some may not.
Yeah. Our traditional training is going to pick up the grossly hypothyroid, but it takes the special education to pick up the subtleties and deal with the treatment subtleties and the ongoing monitoring subtleties.
So how would someone find this kind of doctor?
Well, on the information page associated with this particular video on our website, I've listed several questions that someone could ask the front desk of any physician's office, and they'll find out.
Okay, so a person would call up the office and ask a series of questions. If they answered yes to those questions, well, that doctor should at least be on the short list.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
And there's one other thing that I'd like to talk about. Hypothyroidism, as it relates to being overweight, has been known for a century at least. And it's been a common practice in the old days for doctors to prescribe thyroid hormone to most everybody who was overweight. Not a bad practice because so many people are hypothyroid, they're bound to benefit from it. But in this day and age, with all we know and all we can test, it's not a practice I recommend anymore. It's unlikely you're going to put someone into hyperthyroidism because when people take too much thyroid hormone, they don't like it. They get nervous, jittery, anxious. They know the dose is too high.
Yeah.
Yet, however, better to approach the issue with the precision right away and not just prescribe thyroid hormone to everyone who is overweight.
So let me see if I understand this. Basically, anybody who's overweight, they should have their thyroid checked to make sure it's functioning correctly.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes it's obvious, and thus any doctor's going to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's a little more subtle, and thus you want the kind of doctor who knows how to find those subtleties.
Exactly.
In order to find the doctor, you got to ask the right questions of the office.
Yeah.
If they answer yes, well, at least that doctor should be on the short list.
Yeah.
And then I think I heard you say that there's been a practice for a very long time of giving anybody who walked into an office thyroid medication. And while this maybe isn't the worst method ever used, there is a better one, and that's to get the right testing and thus to get the right prescriptions.
Exactly. Anyone who is overweight to get a prescription for thyroid.
Okay.
Precisely.
Well, great. Thanks.